goodness. Let's talk about South Africans and their self-destruction. I have watched closely about what is happening in South Africa, and in my conclusion, I have come out to give you guys the facts, the fact finding of what that is happening in South Africa. What is happening in South Africa was a sponsored game. White imperialists sponsored these atrocities that is going on in South Africa against their own fellow black skinned Africans. What do we call this? The destruction is coming more closer than anyone can ever imagine. But well, that is their own cup of tea. Africa remains Africa. Now, based on what is happening, both in Nigeria and South Africa, we are going to witness it in this video. Our brothers have rised up and voiced out for what that is going on. And we cannot continue. This is time for us to do the needful.
A little bit of history. In 1804, Usman Dan Fodio waged a jihad and founded the Sokoto Caliphate, Africa's largest pre-colonial empire. Beheading, raping, destruction, displacement, 2 million slaves at its peak. This caliphate has never ended. That's North Nigeria. The British found two worlds, brutal Sharia North and vibrant, friendly South. They kept the caliphate intact as enforcers, indirect rule they called it. Then merged the two in 1914. The South declared independence in 1967, Biafra. The civil war that followed, the British backed the North, which blockaded the South, shot down Red Cross planes. Up to 3 million, mostly children, starved to death.
Oh my gosh!
The South fell in 1970. Since then, power has stayed in the North by design, the caliphate. The current constitution, imposed by Northern military dictator, mentions Sharia in Islamic terms 165 times. Christianity, 0. At least 9 billion a year in blood minerals are looted mainly by China, paying jihadis and corrupting military and political officials. It was President Goodluck Jonathan in his living room that leaned in and informed me about that.
There is something that is very disturbing that is unfolding in Africa. A lot of you must have seen the videos coming out of South Africa. Months before the South African xenophobic videos began to surface again, we saw videos coming out of Ghana and then all kinds of places.
We want Nigerians to go back to their country. Ghana is for us. Ghana is not for any foreigner. No Igbo man can come to this country and intimidate us. This country belongs to us.
So it's almost like Africans are now being even further divided by design. People have been wondering why I haven't made any post about the stuff going on in South Africa. Everybody asking, why haven't you posted even a single video? I don't post because I want to post. I take my time to study trends and see what is really going on. And I'm going to tell you something that a lot of you do not understand. Many years ago, I think it was about 7 or 8 years ago, I put out a video on Facebook, YouTube, and in that video, I exposed the grand design, which was mouthed by a certain Secretary of Defense in the UK at that time. I've forgotten his name. And they were talking about how that there was need for them to go back and recolonize Africa.
A leaked national security document seen by the Times also suggests that Williamson drew up plans for the British Armed Forces to be sent to at least 5 African countries, including Zimbabwe, Nigeria, Kenya, Egypt. The plans were reportedly for peacekeeping initiatives. However, Ministry of Defense officials told the paper that Williamson wanted to find excuses to send in troops. They added he wanted to invade Africa. He made it clear that he was keen to send the troops in.
And you see, when they say these things, my people don't understand that these guys are not normal people. They don't just talk for talking's sake. They mean everything they say. And when they want to execute, they do it in such a way that no matter who you are, no matter how hard you look, you find it very difficult to really understand what they're trying to drive at. They confuse you. They are masters of these guys. They disguise almost everything they do. They're the guys who will be killing you on one hand and making you believe that the person who is killing you is on the other side. But they're the ones doing it. They are the masters of problem, reaction, solution. They create the problem, they get you to react, and they position themselves as the solution and then make you to beg them to come and give the solution. This is how these people are known to behave, because we are dealing with subhuman entities who are walking around in human form. These guys are not human beings. I have explained this all along. They want to recolonize Africa. They want to retake Africa for themselves. And so what you see in South Africa is an intelligence operation. That intelligence operation has an aim. Haven't you even asked yourself, what is going on? How can South Africans be kicking out almost every African person that is in their country? If it was Nigerians alone, it would be different. If it was like Kenyans, it would be different. This one is everybody is involved. Zimbabweans who share a common border with them involved. Zambians share a common border, they are involved. Everybody is caught in this crossfire. How? Why is that happening? And almost everybody, Ghanaians, for the first time I'm seeing the Ghanaians are also becoming victims as well. In South Africa, and I've seen Ghanaian reaction to the humiliation that one of their own suffered in South Africa. And I'm saying to myself, how come nobody is seeing the trend and what is going on? This is meant to alienate South Africa because there's going to be a resurgence of apartheid. And if care is not taken, a white person who is probably pro-apartheid will take over from Ramaphosa. South Africa is basically going to slide back into apartheid again in a very coded way that you don't get to see it, so you don't even know how to fight it. But you can tell that apartheid has returned. And it is at that time that almost all of Africa is supposed to get together and say, let us go and help our brothers and sisters in South Africa. By that time, you know that with what we are seeing today, no African is going to lift a pin. In fact, people will be drinking champagne while they are watching the drama unfold in South Africa. Other Africans are going to support whoever is going to come there to humiliate and destroy our black people in South Africa. That's why these things are shown in the video. Otherwise, they would have been doing it quietly, but now they video themselves humiliating, oppressing and killing and beating and attacking and bullying fellow Africans. It is because it's an intelligence operation. I've been saying this for years. It's because there is going to be a resurgence of apartheid in South Africa. It's coming back. It's all part of the general program of retaking Africa for the colonials. You see how that the Sahel, our three Sahel states broke with France and decided to become independent. And Africa rose up in their support and declared that whatever it takes, we are going to support our brothers and sisters in those countries, Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger Republic. Today, you see what is happening in Mali. About 12,000 terrorists unleashed on a nation. For what reason? Because the colonials can't get themselves to lose that country that never belonged to them in the first place. We are dealing with subhuman entities, demons from the pit of hell. Just because they have nostrils, they have eyes and mouth and talk and walk like you, doesn't mean they are humans. You need to study and educate yourself on all these beings that we have in our midst. Their minds are behind their backs. These guys don't have any conscience. They don't care. All they care about is let people die. As long as they keep stealing from you and taking from you, it is not that. Look at what is happening in Mali. Tell me for what? For what? Because they said, look, we are tired of being slaves to you, friends. We want to be on our own. They became the only truly free states in the whole of Africa today. Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger. And France has never forgiven them for that. And today we see terrorists all over the place. Look at what they're doing in Nigeria. It's all part of the plan, the grand design. They want to take Africa back. They're looking for puppets. They're looking for stooges who will dance to their tunes. So that's what you see happening in South Africa. That's why almost every country in Africa is being affected. If they had said, oh, it's only Nigerians, oh, it's only people who are doing drugs, it would be different. But now almost everybody gets affected. And I love South Africa. I love South Africans. I've followed the story for a very long time of South Africans. I know how that Nigeria helped South Africa during the apartheid regime. I know how Ghana helped South Africa during the apartheid regime. This kind of stuff is not supposed to be happening, if not that it was being artificially created to sow the seed of hatred towards South Africans, so that when apartheid resurges again in South Africa, they will have nobody to run to. They will have no friend on their side. That's what is happening. And I think we all need to wake up. We all need to rise up and condemn it. I applaud my brothers and sisters from South Africa who are now beginning to find their voices. They are already beginning to speak up, to tell the whole world that, look, this is not who we are. Because it does not make any sense. They are already speaking up. And that's what they should have done a long time ago. The prominent ones among them need to also join this. Begin to speak up. If you find someone who is committing a crime in your country, let the person face the law. If they need to go to jail, let them go to jail. Whatever it is, you have law enforcement units in South Africa. Do not allow people, disgruntled individuals, to take laws into their hands. If you allow them to take matters into their hands, you have created a mess that you can roll back anytime soon. South Africans are also in different African countries. We are literally allowing ourselves to be played like a soccer ball. Africans, wake up! Wake up! While xenophobia is already coming back in South Africa, they are attacking Mali, trying to kick Keita out of the way so that France will take over Mali, and then from Mali, they will begin to attack Burkina Faso and Niger Republic until they take back, because now they use terrorists to fight their battles. No longer like those days when they had colonial army. Terrorists are now the new colonial army. This is what we're dealing with on the continent of Africa. This is a spiritual battle. I try to remind people all the time when I make videos, this is a spiritual, deeply spiritual battle. We will fight it with our brains, but we'll also fight it on our knees. So I just wanted to let us know this. Keep an eye on it and let the elders call these young people in South Africa to order. Let us begin to resist the temptation to become tools in the hands of our enemies.
You said Buhari is a shameless irredentist.
Does that statement require further adumbration? That man has already established the fact of his uselessness before he died.
Uselessness?
Complete uselessness, unless you're talking to the ruination of Nigeria.
Nigeria's president from 2015 to 2023.
The tragedy that befell Nigeria. Buhari was a tragedy, an unmitigated tragedy. That man destroyed every illusion of a united Nigeria. A man that looked at an entire region and described them as a dot in the circle. A man that was so completely prebendal that he thought nothing, just like the current affliction that is in Aso Rock. He thought nothing of making everybody in a circle Fulanis. In a multi-ethnic, multi-religious country, he sat down and pretended the handing over of the country to a Muslim ticket in this country. Look, Buhari, may we never see his like again in this country, because nobody has been more ruinous to Nigeria than that guy, unless we are beginning to factor in the reign of Mulaba. They are cut from the same cloth.
The reign of who?
Mulaba, Bala Blue. I am very deliberate about ridiculing our leaders or rulers. I am very, very deliberate about it.
What does Bulaba mean?
He is the one that should be answering that question. Wasn't he the one that said Bala blue, Bulaba, blue, blue, blue?
Can you give meaning to those words?
He's the only one who will give meaning. I don't know what he meant. He was speaking esoteric languages.
Yes, esoteric languages can be powerful.
But he's the only one who can give you the interpretation. I found no dictionary where I can find the meaning of Bala blue, 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 blah, blue, blah, blue.
From the sound, can we give it meaning?
I am not sure I am able to do that, but what I do know is that it sounds quite comical. So when I feel like laughing, I remind myself that I'm being ruled by Bala blue, Bulaba.
You said he's an affliction.
Which one of them, Buhari or Tinubu?
Tinubu?
Look, every ruler of Nigeria is an affliction to the Nigerian. What have they brought to relieve the condition of the Nigerian?
There are times I think you should be president.
I think at some point, I might get crazy enough to think I will do it.
We don't want you to be crazy.
You actually have to be crazy to do anything in this country.
All right. What you just see, you have watched it. The South Africans are coming after our own people. And they now write a manner of allegations and say this is their reasons. But all those things are just fallacy. Who can read your history? Don't allow anybody to read about you. Read about yourself. And this is the main reason why we are asking for Biafra. Let the world voice out and tell the Nigeria government to allow the Biafrans to go, so that we can, build our own country, so that South Africans will stop chasing us away from their own country. Nigeria never welcomed us, and we can never be part of Nigeria, because the Nigeria system is not working. If truly that Nigeria was built to be a country, our people would have been in Nigeria and make it more greater than the way it is. But Nigeria was built to fail, and they have heard it loud and clear as I read it out for you since 1914. All thanks to the able men and able women who are making it out there for the world to hear the story of Biafra. Is either Biafra or nothing. My people, who am I? I'm only a messenger. If you love what I do here in this Global Love Channel TV, please don't hesitate to touch your hand for subscribe button, like and turn on the notification bell, so that whenever we upload a new video like this, you'll be the first person to be notified. And in doing that, we encourage you to do more, because togetherness we shall save life together. Africa life matters. Don't hurt anybody. Till next time, see you in my next video. Bye for now. Thank you.